Hello everybody, this is Shayna from Kaiyuni Kreations. Guys, welcome to another video. Today I thought we would just have some fun. Happy New Year to everyone. Welcome to all my new viewers and new subscribers. And to those who've been rolling with me all along, guys, thank you and welcome back. For those of you that are new to my channel, Kaiyuni Kreations, I just do all things handmade, paper crafts, home decor, card making, that kind of stuff. And today I want to play a little bit with envelopes. So we get quite a few of these mailers, right? And it's like, what are you going to do with all these envelopes? So I thought I'd do something a little different with the envelopes. So this first video, we're actually going to replicate them. So I went ahead and I, opened them up. So this is just like a regular envelope you mail out. I think I got a card in this one. So we're going to use these as templates. And we have like 4 different styles. And of course you have this one. So we'll go through and make one of each. And again, if you're looking for a particular color envelope, something for your junk journal or for a card that you made and you want to send it out, you can just go ahead and make your own. So these little ones here, these two, all right, this one I made from that, and it's a nice vintage feel. And also if you have, this is from the same paper pad, if you have like a paper pad that just has not actual card stock, but just paper like these here, this is a good way to use them up. Alright, if you can't use them as pages, and this gives a nice vintage vibe, nice vintage feel to the envelope. So we're going to go ahead and make, let's see how many we can get through. And then with the paper I had left over, I did a kind of a ephemera thing. Alright, so we're going to go through these, and you can further embellish them, as you use them in your junk journal, whether you put it at the edge of the page, something like that. But obviously you can embellish it further and add other things, but it's just a way to use up the entire 12 by 12 sheet. Okay, so let us go ahead. I think we're going to start with this little one first. Let me just clear these off. These are just the others that I have here, and I'll go through those as we come to make them. So I'm going to put these aside. We're going to make each one of these. So we're going to start with just a little regular basic one. And I think this is a 6.5 by 3.5 envelope. The very small mailers that you use with the opaque background so you can't see what's inside. But of course this is plain and boring. And I wanted one made out of paper that I could use. So I did these two. And now we're going to do the third one. Now for these two, because the sheets were directional, I was kind of, and I'm actually going to go ahead and make this one like that because it doesn't matter. But you can obviously put it this way if your sheet is not directional, which this one is, but it's going to be on the side. But I'm going to go ahead and do it straight like this because I want to show you the piece of ephemera that I made after. So, a little piece is going to be off the edge. That's okay. The envelope will it'll still meet in the middle. So, you see here, even though they were cut off at the edges, when you fold them, it is still covered. So, I think we're able to get away with that. So, you'll need your pencil now just to trace it out. So, we're going to go ahead and trace this, and I hope that I am in frame. So, I'm going to go ahead and just quickly trace this out. And I hope you guys are getting into your new year and just killing it. Oops, careful. Don't talk too much while you're tracing. In spite of everything that's happening, we're going to take it one day at a time. So we go ahead and we trace out here. And trace it on the reverse side of the paper so the pencil mark wouldn't matter. And I was able to trace this a lot better when I was just doing it without a camera. I don't know. So you have the outline here, and then we're just going to simply cut it out. So take your time and cut along the lines if you can see that. As straight as you can. And guys, the possibilities with this are endless. You get to do exactly, so hold on to this piece here. You get to use the exact pattern of paper you want to make your envelope out of. And I said you can put them in anywhere in your junk journals. You know, if you're actually mailing stuff out to a friend in them, you can do that too. You can put a card in them, just depending on the size that you use. Or, you know, make it for whatever you want. So we're just going to go ahead and finish this. And then I'm just going to do a straight line here, the original line on the inside. All right, turn to the edge here. Make sure you get that shape. And then straight out. So you have this here, so your envelope pattern. And this is what's left over, and I'll show you how we made the other piece of that. So keep these pieces. So the envelope, just fold it at the natural curves there. And I'm going to get my bone folder. Just gently smooth it out. And again, because this is paper, it's easier to do. We're going to do one with cardstock, which is a little tougher. I actually used my scoring board for that one, just so that it didn't rip. Now this is the bottom, so just be folding it right here at the crease there, at the corner. So you can pinch that down. Pinch the other side down. And then just come right across. Reinforce it with the bone folder. And you see the envelope is forming here. And of course you're going to do the top. Now, depending on what you wanted to do, if you were just going to leave this open and put it in your journal just like this, you wouldn't crease here. And then you can go ahead and stuff, you know, whatever you want in there, put it in your page. I'm going to go ahead and fold this one. So again, I'm pinching it to the corner here because I don't want to get out my scoreboard. So I'm taking a shortcut, but if you know you're not good at that, by all means use your scoreboard. And this is your envelope. Voila. So I'm not going to glue it down yet because I'm not sure if I want to like glue this in the envelope or if I want to put it in my junk journal where you can open it and write. But you get the idea. So I have that there for later. So I have the size envelope that I want in the pattern of paper that I want. Now for what's left over, I just kind of put these together. I began making a piece of ephemera. It could be like a corner pocket. You can put it over. It could be a fold on, you know, your page in your junk journal. I'm going to go ahead and even up this edge here. Remove that notch. For some reason, it always has a piece, that white showing. So I guess my cut isn't perfect. That's okay. So now you have this here. So this here, you can use this as a pocket just as is. Right, so if you have your junk journal sheet, your page, you can stick it in the page and then you have your pockets. Or you can glue down this edge and create your pocket that way. So that's one use you can do for it. I kind of went a little further. So again, you get your corner here. And just match the ends up. You can roll it in a little bit more. So you got your ends together. And it's okay, it doesn't have to be perfect. And you flip the other end back. So it's still going to be a piece of a corner fold, you know, or a piece of ephemera for your junk journal or whatever it is you're using. I just kind of fancied it up a bit. And this is the when you don't use your scoreboard. But because it's paper, it's a little more forgiving. And then I had these two pieces here that were left over. So I wanted to include them. So I'm going to even them up. I don't need this curved notch here. So you get it as straight as possible. And then just slice it off like that. And again, so you have two ideas. You can leave the big pocket if you're doing a big junk journal, or you can fold it over again in this way. So this way, because it's directional, the music notes are facing the correct way. And over here, they're facing the correct way. This here, when you flip it up, it won't, but these do. So this is directional on the correct way, and then This part is not. Oh well, it'll be okay. We're not looking for perfection. And then I'm going to go ahead and glue it down. So I try to line up the bottom edge actually, because you can always trim the top of the triangle off. So I do it, and you can also trim the sides off. So we have that. Always have your tissue on hand to get the excess up. And you've got a little bit left over. That's okay. We're going to trim those away in a second. And then we're going to glue the other side down. And once I decide where I'm going to put it, I'm going to further embellish it at that time. So I'm just going to have these on hand. Again, we're going to do the bottom edges, because you can always trim the top off. You see, this one fit a little bit more perfectly than the other one did, so I don't know what's up with that, but it's all good. In crafting, we know how to correct and to account for and adjust. So you see it's still off like the little edge here, and you can just go ahead and trim all of these here. And you're good. So it does open up for now. You can always glue it down. Come in here, and this is where you're going to even up this edge. So you don't have that white showing anymore. So even when you glue it down or not, if you want to do like a flip down, you know, it's covered on this side. And on this end here, let's see what is going on. So we're going to go ahead and adjust this. And it's all open, so you can trim it all the way down. And we're going to trim this little white off here. And you know, there you go. So you have this pair here, so you know, enveloping that. This is the size envelope, so it matches these here. And you see these have their own as well, and it's all directional. You see, this one here is directional, so I don't know what happened with that page, but so you have an envelope and the ephemera to go with it. And then this one I changed this one up a little bit. I have another one of this pattern, so I just switched the two, but we have the envelope here to go with it. So these are the small envelopes. We're going to put these aside for now. So let's go on to the next size. So the next size I have, I believe it's the red one, are these. I'm going to put this away because I like to pack up as I go. Keep my table clear. Keep my tissue handy, my paper towel handy. So we're going to try the next size. And these are the typical size that your cards come in. So this is my Christmas card I got from someone. I decided to just play around with the envelope. Now it's plain red, but I wanted something a little more vintagey. You know, this is a beautiful pattern here. This is paper again. This is also paper, easy to bend. This is cardstock. I just love, so when you open this one here, so the cardstock page is actually this way, the 12 by 12. I did it on the bias, so the design kind of went to the side. So that's, you have to take into account, you know, the direction of the design on your page. But it worked out, so it's all in the corner here and in the corner, and I love it. It's beautiful. All right, this here, and the paper pack I used for this. Oh, what did I do with it? It is this one here, the Paper Studio, the Theodosia Square. So they have all of these vintage patterns, and it's all paper. And I'm like, what am I going to do with all of these? So this is one way to get rid of it, because they don't quite go as pages in your journal, but you could absolutely make envelopes that will go into the journal. So you can put them this way, where they open up, and then you have stuff inside, you know, however you want to use it. But I just love that I'm able to choose my own designs. So these I did on the bias, and I was kind of concerned how they would come out at first, but hey, I love it. Instead of doing it straight like the last one. So we're going to go ahead and do this one. So when you open it up here, you'll see it gets cut off at the edge. And when you fold this particular one, it actually does not meet in the middle. You do get a gap. I tried it with this one here, so this is from doing it straight. So you have this gap here, it doesn't quite fit. I'm going to figure out how to fill this in. I'm not tossing this, but I want to avoid that. So I'm actually going to do it on the bias like this. So we're going to flip it over, put it on the bias, get our little handy, and try and keep it, actually confine it to one corner, because you may have some left over to make like a tag or something. And go ahead and trace with your pencil. This is a little easier because this envelope is actually a little firmer. The cardstock they use to make it. It's still paper actually, but yeah, it's a little thicker than the last regular mailing envelopes. So you trace it out. And again, always trace on the reverse side of your paper, so you don't have to deal with this pencil mark on the correct side. So again, this is just paper. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this one out. And again, if you don't have one of those envelope making boards, this is a good way to get your envelopes still. And some of those boards are so small, you really can't make the larger envelopes with them. But again, if you have one of those, I do have one, but I usually make like my smaller gift card envelopes and so on with those. But for these large ones, I just thought I'd use this template. So again, don't toss all of your envelopes out. And I have a couple of other projects I'm going to show you as well that you can do with those old envelopes. And everybody makes like journals with them. I did that as well. But there's some other things, you know, we can do to fancy them up before we use them. So again, we're cutting along the lines as straight as possible. And I should have gone all the way up to the edge here, but I'm going to go ahead and cut. Okay. Don't toss this as yet. Don't toss this part. I'm going to put it aside. I'm going to go ahead and fold quickly. Again, get it where the notch is. That's where the envelope would naturally fold. Reinforce with your bone folder. I didn't cut this side out. Let's go ahead and cut this bad boy. Make sure you cut the notches as well so you have that natural curve. And then you get the tip. Alright. So we're going to fold the other end in. Right where it would naturally fall at the curve. The base is always the one with a straight edge. So we're going to make sure we get it there. Again, you can also use your board, your scoreboard. If that makes you more comfortable using that, but I think because it's paper, we should be fine. You know, when you have your envelope, I mean, look at that, gorgeous. And everything's on the bias, which turns out to be just fine. Again, I'm not going to glue this down because I don't know yet what I'm going to do with it. But if you already know you're going to use it, just an envelope, go ahead and glue it down. And carry on. So there we go. Now for these here, because it's just such a narrow strip, I could probably do like a tag with it. 2 tags maybe. So pinch the end here, reinforce. We can go ahead and cut this, and you can mount it on cardboard, which is probably what I would do. But you know, you can make 2 tags with these here. Cut them in half again. And then with this one here, you can make smaller tags with them. So the possibilities are endless. And if you're like me, you don't like to throw your scraps out, you may end up with a whole bunch. But actually, I'm just going to cut the top, because this could make a bigger one. So you can straighten out this here. Actually, you can just go ahead and cut it in half. And a shortcut, since it's paper we're working with. So you've got your rectangle here for your tag. You can even up this one here. So you have like 3 tags almost from this here. So you can use those, you know, as a, and that way we've used the entire sheet up. And this is all that is left here. And you can't keep every scrap, so we're gonna let these go. So we envelope, and then, you know, I'm not gonna make the tags today. I mean, we can do it another time. But this is the whole set you have here. So that's how I got this size one. Love this. All right, so let's keep moving on. The next one we're going to do is this one here. So this one is actually cardstock that I picked this time. Oh, let me put this up. I'm going to keep my surface clear so I can see what I'm doing. So this came in the mailer, I guess. Capital One is trying to get some business. So we're going to use this. Again, this one is made from cardstock. This one is kind of stiff. So we're going to go ahead and put it on the reverse. And I'm going to go ahead and get this traced out. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and trace this out. Just hold it down here, come as low, and you can go all the way up to the edge here. So use one less edge you have to cut. Hold this down. And we're going to go ahead and trace. Ooh, take your time. Okay. Alright, it's cold here in Georgia today. So again, this is cardstock, so I'm just going to cut it out the same way. And again, these will further be embellished as I use them. I just wanted to get the basics out here today to just get your creative juices flowing and give you some ideas. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this here. Straight out, and because this is cardstock, so again, don't throw this out yet. But I'm actually going to get my scoreboard out finally. It'll just be easier. Go ahead and set it on the side with a ridge up, and we're going to score the natural lines here. And honestly, it is just easier. And then you get it at the top here. Right across. We're going to go ahead and get the two sides, and then it makes it easier to fold. You have to make sure the groove lines up with where you're wanting it to go. And over here. All right, so we're going to put this bad boy away. And I don't know if you can see the score lines, but it's just easier to fold it now. I love this paper. It's nautical, like a compass. So we're going to go ahead and gently fold and gently reinforce, because you don't want to rip the paper. And on this end here, fold over and gently reinforce. And then we have the bottom. All right, fold it over and gently reinforce it. And then we're going to have the top here. So this makes the folding a whole lot easier. So I believe the flaps go on the outside. No, they go on the inside. And again, you glue this down and you are good to go. So again, it's a different size envelope. Just imagine all the goodies you can pack in here. This was made out of paper, still beautiful, more of a vintage vibe. right? And of course, this one was made from the same cardstock book as this one. So if you're gonna make a journal with it, you know, of course, you can always glue the two flaps together. I think we put them one inside each other. If they'll fit. It may not fit, but you know, if you're gonna make a junk journal out of it, you know, this is kind of how you would do it. So this would be like one page here. You sew it down, or you can do them individually. But again, you know, this is another fun idea. And in another video, I'll show you where we can probably find some way to cover these up actually and use those. But yeah, I just thought this would be fun. 3 different size envelopes. This one here with a bit of ephemera left over, you know, I guess tags would probably be the most obvious use. Well, you've got this strip here. You can do a belly band with it as well. So, like I said, I'm not going to cut that. And of course, we try not to waste anything. These are still wide enough for you to use. You can probably get your tags out of this part. Or do multiple tags. Well, these are the same color, but, you know, multiple tags, you trim them off. There's still more possibilities with this. You get the idea. I'm not going to cut it down any further, but you could actually use all of these. So we have these here, just to clear me, pack some stuff away. You know, and I hope this gets your guys' creative juices flowing. So I'll put away the little pieces to the side. So we've got these. So I just love how these feel. We've got this size here, and of course you can make your tags with these as well. But these come in 3 sizes as well. Well, I have 4 of them now, but yep. And we have our little ones with the bigger pieces of ephemera in them. So these are the envelopes, you know, with their pieces of ephemera. I just love this telephone one. And then, of course, you know, we've got this vintage pattern. And there you have it, guys. Short, quick, simple. And now you can go on into your junk journaling. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You know, thank you if you've watched all the way to the end. Thank you very much. Please don't forget my other platforms, Instagram, Pinterest. I have an Etsy shop. And if I have too many of these, I may sell like stacks of these in there as well. I'm not sure as yet if I don't use them all up. But yeah, and you know, that's it for today. Thank you for joining in. And you all guys just have a blessed day. And always remember to walk with God. And until next time, bye.